I didn't know until the 7th year of being the mistress of the Dingyuan Marquis's household that Lu Yuanze had someone else in his heart. On the day I was having a difficult labor with my second child, the midwife asked Lu Yuanze, "The lady is having a difficult labor. Do we save the mother or the child?" Without consulting me, Lu Yuanze decisively said, "Save the child. Madam has always loved children the most, and she would certainly want to keep this pregnancy." I heard it all clearly in the delivery room. So after 7 years of marriage, our affection was as thin as paper. After my daughter was born, I was still clinging to life. Lu Yuanze came in to see the child, and I asked him with tears in my eyes, "Why save the child? Don't you love me anymore? I am your first wife." Lu Yuanze looked at me coldly, his eyes filled with disgust. "Sheng Wanwan, if it weren't for Piao Piao being afraid of the pain of childbirth, I would never have married you. Now that you are dead, I can fulfill my promise to Piao Piao of being together for a lifetime. I only love her in this life. Who is Piao Piao?" Before I could ask any more questions, I had already died from exhaustion. I died with my eyes wide open, my soul floating above the Marquis's mansion. Watching as Lu Yuanze led a delicate woman through the door, she was holding my newborn daughter, her face beaming with joy. "Marquis, thank you for letting me become a mother without any pain. Now we finally have both a son and a daughter." My 6-year-old eldest son, Lu Mingyi, looked up and sweetly called out to her, "Mother Piao Piao, you're finally my real mother now." My mother-in-law, Madame Yi, affectionately took her hand, her face full of care. "Piao Piao, from now on, I'll treat you like my own daughter." My sister-in-law and several younger brothers-in-law also flattered her by calling her sister-in-law. Not long after, Lu Yuanze used my dowry to go through the formalities of 3 matchmakers and 6 betrothals to marry a new wife. It turns out that all the hard work I put into the Marquis's household over the past 7 years was in vain. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the wedding night when I married Lu Yuanze. Having lived a second life, I will no longer give to this family of ungrateful wolves, seek revenge for grievances, settle scores for injustices, and after tormenting the scum, divorce the husband. I will absolutely not let them take advantage of me in the slightest. The red candle on the table had burned halfway before the groom entered the bridal chamber. Lu Yuangzi explained to me with guilt, "Wanwan, I drank too much while entertaining guests today, that's why I'm late." I lifted the red veil, my tone indifferent. "Since the Marquis is drunk, go rest in the study." Hearing this, the maid Caiwei, who had accompanied me as part of the dowry, exclaimed in surprise, "Miss." I gave her a cold glance. When the master is speaking, a servant should not interrupt. Caiwei immediately fell silent. Lu Yuanze was also taken aback by my attitude. "Wanwan, don't you need me to accompany you?" At this moment, his peach blossom eyes are gazing at me with deep affection. In my previous life, I was completely captivated by his peach blossom eyes. I mistakenly believed that he fell in love with me at first sight and that his love for me was unwavering. Later, I realized that men with peach blossom eyes look at even a dog with deep affection. I smiled faintly. "The Marquis and I are deeply in love. Why should we care about being together day and night? Tonight, I will not let him stay to consummate the marriage, nor will I ever in the future. This despicable man will never be worthy of touching me." Indeed, I never expected Wanwan to be able to compose poetry as well. Lu Yuanyuan's gaze held a hint of admiration. He always thought I was just a merchant's daughter, capable only of managing business and household affairs, and certainly not well versed in poetry. In truth, I know far more than he realizes. In my past life, he had no interest in understanding me. In this life, I will make sure he has no right to get close to me. I urged him to leave. "It's getting late, my lord. Please go to the study to rest. I also need to settle down, as I have to serve tea to my mother-in-law early tomorrow morning." "All right." Lu Yuanze glanced at me perfunctorily before leaving. His retreating figure showed no trace of reluctance, only a sense of relief. So, his affection had been nothing but a pretense all along. It's a pity that in my past life, I was blind and foolish. In my past life, I was deceived by Lu Yuanze's outward appearance, mistaking a heartless man for a devoted lover. Now, I know that his heart only holds that woman, Liu Piao. He never loved me even a little. He married me because I am the daughter of the wealthiest family in Yangzhou, coveting the abundant assets of the Sheng family. Caiwei is worried about me. Miss, if you don't share a room with the Marquis on your wedding night, I'm afraid it will harm your reputation. I laugh inwardly, thinking, what does reputation matter? Not sharing a bed means I won't bear Lu Yuanza's child. Lu Yuanza is not worthy of having a child with me. That ungrateful Lu Mingyi is also not worthy of being born from my womb. Yet, I remained expressionless on the surface. As a wife, everything should prioritize the husband. Since the Marquis is tired and drunk, I should let him rest well. There's no need to rush the consummation. In my previous life, while my soul wandered through the Marquis's mansion, I overheard Lu Yuanza and Liu Piapiao talking about their wedding night. That night, Lu Yuanza, afraid of hurting Liu Piapiao's feelings, went to her first before coming to me. He used the smell of alcohol to cover up the fragrance Liu Piapiao had left on him, lying to me by saying he was drunk, unaware of the truth. I even thought he had specially perfumed himself to mask the alcohol for my sake. And this maid of mine was bribed by my sister-in-law, Lu Yinyan, on the second day after I married into the family, becoming her eyes to watch over me. Lu Yinyan and Liu Piapiao have been close friends for many years. They are bosom friends. Liu Piapiao often stays overnight at the Marquis's residence under the pretext of visiting Lu Yinyan. In my previous life, Lu Yuanza frequently used the excuse of handling military affairs to rest in the study, but in reality, he was secretly meeting with Liu Piapiao. Every night I spent alone in my empty room. They were secretly enjoying their affair. After Caiwei was bribed by Lu Yinyan, every move I made in the mansion was reported to Liu Piapiao by Lu Yinyan. This is why, for 7 long years, I never knew about the affair between Lu Yuanza and Liu Piapiao. They carried on their affair right under my nose, scheming against me. He tricked me into using all my dowry silver to subsidize the household expenses of the Marquis's estate, to purchase properties for the Liu family, and to prepare a dowry for Liu Piapiao. Since Caiwei is going to betray me, I plan to turn her scheme to my advantage. I won't alert her for now, but when the time is right, I'll catch them all in one fell swoop. Go and serve in the Marquis's study. If the Marquis has any needs, attend to him with care. I spoke in a veiled manner, and Caiwei's cheeks flushed instantly upon hearing it, but in her heart, she was overjoyed. She responded with a yes and went to Lu Yuanza's study. The maids who came as part of the dowry originally had the chance to serve the Marquis on behalf of their mistress. If they could bear a child, they could be elevated to the status of a concubine. Back then, she was bribed by Lu Yinyan because Lu Yinyan painted a grand picture for her, promising to persuade her brother to take her as a concubine. In this life, I will have Caiwei deal with Liu Piapiao and make her feel disgusted. Since Liu Piapiao wants to spend her life with Lu Yuanza, I will make her witness Lu Yuanza surrounded by concubines. I also want Lu Mingyi to be born from a concubine, with no right to inherit the Sheng family's property. Caiwei arrived at Lu Yuanza's study, boldly entered, her face tinged with shyness. Lord Marquis, the lady has sent me to serve you. No need. You may leave. Lu Yuanza had already expended most of his energy with Liu Piapiao and was not in the mood for any desires at the moment, especially not with this lowly maid. However, Caiwei had finally seized this great opportunity and was unwilling to leave so easily, especially since it was the mistress who ordered her to come. With the meal practically fed to her mouth, how could she not eat? Caiwei agreed verbally but secretly placed an aphrodisiac incense in the burner. Lu Yuanza, caught off guard, soon fell victim to it. In the latter half of the night, Lu Yuanza, mistaking Caiwei for Liu Piapiao, held her while sleeping and even professed his deep affection for Liu Piapiao. Piapiao is so beautiful. I absolutely adore Piapiao. Caiwei was stunned. Could it be that the Marquis had another love? When he sought to marry the young lady, he claimed he had never taken a wife or concubine and vowed to love only her. Could he have been lying? The key question is, who is Piapiao? Even if she was just a maid who came as part of the dowry, she had long regarded the Marquis as her own man. Feeling possessive and jealous, when Lu Yuanza was deeply infatuated, she coyly pretended to resist while skillfully coaxing information from him. Marquis, what is my name? Piapiao. Lu Yuanza was under the influence of a drug, his mind muddled at the moment, and without thinking, he uttered the name of his beloved, Liu Piapiao. I have loved only you in this lifetime. I did not consummate the marriage with Sheng Wanwan tonight. and I even refused her attempt to use a maid to win favor. Lu Yuanze indulged in a night of pleasure, unaware that all his thoughts were already known by Caiwei. Caiwei climbed into the Marquis's bed and also uncovered the schemes and plots between the Marquis and Liu Piaopiao. She resolved to stand united with her own mistress to deal with that Liu Piaopiao. Fertile water should not flow into outsiders' fields. How can we let Liu Piaopiao become the mistress? I have no interest in knowing whether Caiwei can successfully climb into bed. Before going to sleep, I bolted the door from the inside to prevent anyone from plotting against me. After washing up, I cleared away all the longans, peanuts, and red dates from under the wedding character beddings. In this life, I will not bear children for Lu Yuanze, so these fruits symbolizing early birth of a noble son are no longer needed. I lay on the quilt embroidered with mandarin ducks playing in the water, my thoughts in turmoil. Recalling the ill-fated relationship I had with Lu Yuanze in my previous life, I was filled with regret and remorse. 8 years ago, Lu Yuanze led his troops through Yangzhou to fight at the border. Due to a sudden heavy snowfall, the imperial court could not supply provisions. The Sheng family, being the wealthiest, sold half of their assets to purchase provisions and delivered them to the army as a free donation. At that moment, Lu Yuanze was deeply grateful, saying that if they won this battle, he would surely repay the Sheng family generously. Later, after the war ended, Lu Yuanze passed through Yangzhou again. The Sheng family hosted a banquet to entertain him, and Lu Yuanze saw that the family's wealth far exceeded his expectations. The wealthiest family in Yangzhou, with riches that could rival a nation. As for him, he was born into a humble family and had earned his Marquis title through military achievements, with limited family assets, with a wicked thought. He wanted to marry the only daughter of the Sheng family to seize their family fortune. That day, my maid and I went to the temple to burn incense and pray to the Buddha. On our way back, our carriage was ambushed by bandits on the road. Lu Yuanze personally led his troops to defeat the bandits. I lifted the carriage curtain and caught sight of that dashing young general at first glance. Lu Yuanze rode forward gracefully and courteously. "Miss, were you frightened by the bandits, then?" Those peach blossom eyes gazed at me affectionately, showing clear signs of being moved by my beauty. My cheeks flushed, and I bowed gracefully in return. "Thank you, General, for saving me." Lu Yuanze smiled faintly. "I am Lu Yuanze, Marquis of Dingyuan. It is my duty to bring peace and stability to the nation." "So you are the Marquis of Dingyuan. I have long heard of your bravery, and seeing you today, your reputation is indeed well deserved. Where does the young lady live? Would you like this Marquis to escort you back?" Lu Yuanze pretended not to know me. I happily introduced myself. "I am Sheng Wanwan, the legitimate daughter of the Sheng family. My father is Sheng Chang'an, and my home is at the Sheng mansion in the east of the city." Upon hearing this, Lu Yuanze immediately showed a delighted expression, clasped his hands in a respectful salute to me. "So you are Miss Sheng. Thanks to the Sheng family's support in providing military provisions earlier, we were able to win the battle. I never thought I'd have the chance to repay you in some way today. Allow me to escort you back to your residence." "Thank you. I was afraid the mountain bandits would return, so I agreed." Lu Yuanze escorted me on horseback, and the journey was peaceful. Along the way, he occasionally told me about the dangers of fighting on the battlefield and the merits he had earned. Having never traveled far from home, I developed admiration for this young and brave Marquis. After Lu Yuanze escorted me back to the mansion, my father learned that he had saved me and wanted to reward him with a substantial sum of money. Unexpectedly, Lu Yuanze declined the reward and suddenly knelt down, asking for my hand in marriage. "If Master Sheng truly wishes to repay me, would you be willing to grant me the hand of Miss Sheng in marriage? Although I am already 25 years old, I have never taken a wife, nor do I have any concubines or maidservants. Just now, upon seeing Miss Sheng, I felt an instant connection and wished to marry her. In the future, I will seek to have her honored with the title of a noble lady. I humbly ask for your blessing." "Master Sheng." My father quickly stepped forward to help him up. "Rise quickly, Marquis of Dingyuan. Our families are not of equal social standing, making a marriage alliance truly unsuitable." I also remained reserved. "Young master, your status is noble, while I am merely the daughter of a merchant family, unworthy of you." Lu Yuanze continued to speak words that touched the heart. My Lu family does not value social status. The Sheng family has shown me kindness before, and today I happened to save Miss Sheng by chance. It is truly fate bringing us together. Miss Sheng, do not belittle yourself. In the future, when you marry me, you will become the mistress of the Lu family, and your status will be different. I will also use my achievements to request an official title for you as a noble lady, and no noblewoman in the capital will dare to look down on you. Seeing that I was still hesitating, Lu Yuanze made a resolute and solemn vow. I, Lu Yuanze, will love only Sheng Wanwan in this lifetime. After marriage, I will never take a concubine, and we will be a devoted couple for life. If I break this vow, may I die pierced by 10,000 arrows. My father was worried. The capital is 1,000 miles away from Yangzhou. If you two ever have marital discord in the future, I won't be able to protect Wanwan. Lu Yuanze lured him with benefits. Master Sheng, if I marry Wanwan, I will surely ensure the Sheng family's prosperity for generations, and no one will dare to bully the Sheng family. In the Great Qing Kingdom, agriculture is valued over commerce, and merchants hold a lower status than farmers. The border regions are also plagued by constant turmoil, where wealthy merchants are often targeted and killed. My cunning father was moved, and my maiden heart was also touched by Lu Yuanze's vow. Later, my father provided a dowry of 200 loads. With a grand procession of red dowry, the legitimate daughter of the Sheng family married into the capital in great splendor. In my previous life, after marrying into the Lu family, I saw that the Dingyuan Marquis's residence was as poor as could be. I generously used my dowry to support the household, not only repairing the mansion but also spending a fortune to hire a divine doctor to treat my seriously ill mother-in-law, send my sister-in-law to the noble girls' school to learn etiquette, use connections to send my 2 younger brothers-in-law to the Imperial College to study, and urge them to work hard and strive for official titles. Unexpectedly, after my death, they all clapped their hands in delight. Early the next morning, Lu Yuanze's angry shouts could be heard in the courtyard. You lowly servant, how dare you climb into my bed? Get out now, my lord. I was sent by the mistress to serve you. Tsai Wei wept with grievance, but she was still driven out. She was taken away again by her mother-in-law, Lady Yi. It was originally up to the new mistress to deal with the dowry maid who had climbed into the Marquis's bed, but they bypassed me. It must be that Liu Piapiao was furious and wanted to use someone else's hand to punish Tsai Wei. I washed up, got dressed, and went out all dressed up, relying on memories from her past life. She went straight to Lady Lu's Shokang Hall. Lady Yi was angrily interrogating Tsai Wei. Speak. Who gave you the audacity to climb into the Marquis's bed? Tsai Wei knelt on the ground, unafraid and with a clear conscience. Madam, it was the mistress who ordered me to serve the Marquis, Lu Yuanyuan's sister. Lu Yinyan interjected. How could that be? Last night was my elder brother's wedding night. How could my sister-in-law possibly want a maid to serve in her place? Liu Piapiao, who had been watching the commotion from the side, also spoke up to pass judgment. Old madam, this maid lacks discipline. Daring to steal her master's wedding night, she should be beaten to death as punishment. As her words fell, I calmly stepped inside. My sharp gaze swept over her. Who is this young lady? Under the scrutiny of my cold stare, Liu Piapiao felt a pang of guilt and dared not meet my eyes. Lu Yinyan answered on her behalf first. Sister-in-law, she is my close friend, the daughter of the Deputy Minister of Revenue. In fact, Liu Piapiao was only the daughter of a concubine of the Deputy Minister of Revenue. Lu Yinyan said this to bring her honor. There is a distinction between legitimate and illegitimate children. A single word can make a world of difference in status. But the other noble ladies in Kyoto looked down upon Lu Yinyan, and only Liu Piapiao was willing to befriend her. She regarded Liu Piapiao as her closest friend. Lady Yi, worried that Liu Piapiao might expose the truth, immediately questioned me as well. Lady Sheng, was this maid sent to Yuanze's bed by you last night? Yes, last night the Marquis said he was drunk, so I ordered the maidservant to attend to him in the study. The maidservant who came with the dowry is naturally qualified to serve the Marquis, so what is wrong with that? My gaze once again turned to Liu Piapiao, and I gave a contemptuous smile. Young lady, you are not yet married, yet you come to listen in on other people's family matters. This shows a lack of upbringing. So please step aside. Liu Piapiao is not an outsider. She is like a sister to me, Lu Yinyin defended loudly. Upon hearing this, Cai Wei, who was kneeling on the ground, was even more surprised than I was, casting a gaze full of jealousy and resentment toward Liu Piapiao. So this is Liu Piapiao, the one the Marquis loves. Her appearance is not half as good as that of her own young lady, but her figure is as delicate as a willow, making it easy for men to feel pity for her. Madam, Cai Wei was about to say something, but I immediately cut her off. Be quiet. When the master is speaking, servants are not allowed to interrupt, otherwise, even I won't be able to protect you. Cai Wei felt a warmth in her heart, her eyes reddening as she nodded in agreement. Liu Piapiao was still unaware that Lu Yuanze had already exposed her. Relying on the support of Lady Yi and Lu Yinyin, she stepped forward with a righteous air and sarcastically advised me. The young mistress is too lenient with the servants. I'm afraid it might tarnish the reputation of the Dingyuan Marquis estate. I sneered coldly. If the Marquis estate had proper rules, it wouldn't allow an unmarried young lady to meddle in the affairs of the Marquis's chambers, nor would it let the young lady's close friend listen in on the mistress managing the household. If word gets out, neither of you would dare to marry, would you? As soon as these words were spoken, Lu Yinyin and Liu Piapiao were immediately left speechless. His expression was stiff. Lady Yi was truly afraid that this would affect Lu Yinin's future marriage prospects, so she issued the order, "You two, go out." The two of them left the hall, unwilling and reluctant. "Yi Shi is prepared to torment me. She puts on a stern, elder-like expression to lecture me, Sheng Shi. If it weren't for Yuanze's affection for you, as the daughter of a merchant, you would not be qualified to marry into the Marquis's household." I smile faintly, responding to this wicked mother-in-law with neither humility nor arrogance. Please confirm this matter with the Marquis. He not only has feelings for me, but he also knelt at the entrance of my home and vowed that once I enter his household, I will no longer be seen as a merchant's daughter, but as the mistress of the Marquis's estate. He promised that no one would look down on me, and he would strive to earn honors to request an official title for me. I spoke loudly, certain that Liu Piapiao, who had just left, heard every word clearly. Sure enough, upon hearing this, Liu Piapiao outside the door trembled slightly, and her eyes instantly reddened. Yinyin, seeing her look aggrieved, Lu Yinyin immediately comforted her with heartache. "Piapiao, don't worry. My eldest brother only loves you." Even if he said those words, he was just deceiving Sheng Wanwan. Once she gives birth to children and our Lu family takes over all of the Sheng family's assets, my eldest brother will divorce her. I know. Liu Piapiao felt a bit more at ease. As long as she could control the Lu family, everything Sheng Wanwan had would eventually be hers. The two had only taken a few steps when they encountered Lu Yuanze, who had hurried over after washing up. Liu Piapiao looked at him with a face full of sorrow, as if her heart had been utterly broken. "Piapiao, it's not what you think. I was drunk, and that maid took advantage of me," Lu Yuanze anxiously explained to her. Liu Piapiao knew that arguing with him at this moment would affect her long-term plans, so she choked back her tears and showed magnanimity. "I understand everything. Please remember, my lord, you must not let maidservants serve you closely in the future." "Absolutely. Piapiao, rest assured, I only love you." Lu Yuanze wished he could cut out his heart to prove his loyalty. In the hall, my mother-in-law was already seething with rage at my words. She slammed the table and scolded sharply. "Sheng, as a newlywed, is this how you speak to your mother-in-law? Truly, coming from a merchant family, you have no understanding of propriety. Ha, everyone knows I'm a newlywed, yet you bypass me to deal with my dowry maid, who, then, is the one who knows nothing of etiquette." I'm not afraid to flip the table. Having been reborn, I came back for revenge anyway, so there's no need to pretend to be a filial daughter-in-law. She doesn't deserve to. Now that I've fallen out with my mother-in-law, I won't have to pay my respects morning and evening anymore. My words were overheard by Lu Yuanze, who stormed in with a face full of anger. "Wanwan, how could you speak to mother like that? Lu Yuanze, your mother called me a merchant's daughter, unworthy of marrying into the Marquis's household. Perhaps you should send me back to Yangju. It wasn't me who begged to marry into the Lu family, it was you who knelt and pleaded for my hand. Since your mother dislikes me, why don't we part ways today?" each going our separate paths. I looked at him, my eyes devoid of any emotion. Lu Yuanzi never expected such a sudden change in my temperament. Back in Yangju, ever since he had proposed, whenever I looked at him, my eyes were always filled with the deep affection of a young girl in love. At that moment, he saw no ripples in my eyes, no lingering affection, as if I were a stranger. He was surprised but had no mind to dwell on it. Divorcing his wife on the second day of marriage would do him no good if the censors found out. Besides, he had not yet gotten his hands on most of my dowry. My father bought many shops for me in Kyoto, and the deeds for those properties are all kept at the Shung family's Kyoto bank. If we were to fall out now, it would do him no good. He gave Yisha a meaningful look. Yisha then understood that it was not the right time to argue with me further, and she stopped herself from saying what she had intended to say. Lu Yuanzi gave Yisha a way out. Mother, Wanwan has married far away and is not yet familiar with the rules of the household. Please, for my sake, forgive Wanwan this time. Fine, for your sake, I will let it go this once. You spoil her too much. Wanwan, mother forgives you. Lu Yuanzi came to claim credit from me. Ha, I can't be bothered to watch the act you two are putting on. I gave a disdainful smile. If there's nothing else, I'm going back to my room. With that, he walked out without waiting for their response. They also forgot about the tradition of the new bride serving tea. There were no maids prepared to serve tea either. This was Lu Yuanzi's first time marrying, and he hadn't put any thought into the preparations. It was a fraudulent marriage from the start, so these formalities didn't matter. As the reborn me took a deep breath, I no longer loved, and everything became clear. Just as they were about to deal with the kneeling Tsaiwei, I turned and scolded her. Tsaiwei, are you dead? Hurry up and come serve me my meal. Yes. Tsaiwei felt as if she had been granted a pardon and followed him out, watching us walk away. Lady Yi asked Lu Yuanzi with confusion. My son, does Lady Sheng know something? She probably doesn't know. I didn't share a room with her last night. Lu Yuanyi looked confident. She's been pampered since childhood. With a simple mind and no understanding of household affairs. That's good, Mrs. Yi still advised. Once we've swindled her family fortune, we'll divorce her. The daughter of a merchant is an eyesore. Mother, rest assured, I will act as soon as Sheng Wanwan gives birth. Lu Yuanzi was thinking of killing me, not divorcing me. Miss, I have something urgent to tell you. That Liu Piapiao. Tsaiwei hurried forward, eager to reveal the secret to me. It seems she gained some advantage from climbing into Lu Yuanzi's bed last night. Save your grievances for when we return to the West Garden. I raised my hand to cut her off. Because of what happened this morning, the Lu family will probably be on guard against me. Tsaiwei nodded and kept quiet. I went straight to the kitchen to find something to eat. I need to be full to deal with the scum properly. The cook, seeing me arrive, quickly put down her bowl and chopsticks. The young mistress is here. No one came to pick up the meal all morning, so I ate it first. Seeing the table laden with a sumptuous spread, I simply sat down. No need to deliver it. From now on, I'll just eat in the kitchen. Upon hearing this, the cook was taken aback and forced a smile, saying, the kitchen is dirty and messy. It might soil the young mistress's robes. I said calmly, I only want hot dishes and hot rice. Sending someone to deliver them is troublesome, and who knows, someone might even poison the food to harm me. The cook was stunned. This is the Marquis's residence. Who would dare harm the young mistress? I smiled inwardly. You would dare. In my past life, I knew this cook was greedy and selfish, and I had punished her before. Later, she collaborated with Liu Piapiao to tamper with my food in retaliation, drugging me and causing me to have a difficult labor with my second child. Petty people have narrow minds. In this life, I will also use this petty person's hand to kill Liu Piapiao. I took out a piece of silver weighing 2 taels and gave it to her, enticing her with profit. From now on, I will trouble you, the cook, to take care of my meals. Thank you, young mistress. For the reward, the cook took the silver, her face beaming with joy as she eagerly offered her services. Young mistress, please wait a moment. I'll fetch you clean bowls and chopsticks and prepare a couple of fresh, hot dishes. I nodded, glancing at Tsaiwei. What are you standing there for? Go help with the cooking. Tsaiwei complied, though she went to assist with a reluctant heart. The kitchen maid then mustered the courage to order her around to do this and that. It is most fitting to let the bad guys deal with the bad guys. I had a hearty breakfast and returned to the west garden to dress up, preparing to leave the mansion to attend to business. While Tsaiwei was helping me with my makeup, she quietly and in detail told me about how Lu Yuanze had held her last night, calling her Liu Piaopiao. Miss, the Marquis has a wandering heart. The one he truly loves is Liu Piaopiao. You must be careful, I sighed softly. Men are all fond of beauty, especially the Marquis, who is in the prime of his life. Since I have become the mistress of the household, I naturally cannot be jealous. In the future, if the Marquis wishes to take a concubine, I will arrange for you to become a concubine first. Without realizing it, I had painted a grand picture for her, and Tsaiwei, smelling the sweetness of it, hurriedly thanked me. Just about to head out, Lu Yuanze entered the courtyard. He dismissed Tsaiwei to have a private conversation with me. Wanwan, from now on, you are not allowed to arrange for maids to climb into my bed. I only want to have children with you. If the Marquis didn't have the need for relief, the maids wouldn't have been able to succeed in climbing into bed, would they? Wanwan, last night was arranged by you, and now you actually blame me. No. I was even planning to promote Tsaiwei to be a concubine. I haven't been feeling well these past few days, so it's best if someone helps take care of the Marquis. I don't want a maid. She's too lowly. I'm not in a hurry to consummate our marriage with you. I'll come to accompany you once you're feeling better. Since the Marquis has slept with her, he should take responsibility. Tsaiwei is my dowry maid. She must be given a proper status. Otherwise, as the mistress, I won't be able to establish authority in the Marquis's household in the future. If not, perhaps we should just separate. Lu Yuanyuan reluctantly compromised. As you wish, but I will never touch her again. Changing the subject, he asked with calculation. By the way, I'm still on leave today. Would you like me to accompany you to retrieve your property deeds and land deeds? I coldly refused. No rush. Our Sheng family's bank only recognizes me. You should go attend to your official duties, Marquis. Lu Yuanyuan had no choice but to go about his own business. I went to the Sheng family's money shop in Kyoto, spoke to the manager about the Lu family's affairs, gave some instructions, and then returned. Not long after, the wife of the Vice Minister of Revenue brought several maids to the Lu family to look for Liu Piaopiao. Madame Liu's expression was stern. Madame Liu, this wretched girl actually dared to stay out all night. I'm taking her back to discipline her according to family rules. Liu Piaopiao tried to defend herself. Mother, I have always been on good terms with Miss Yinyan. Last night, she insisted I stay, which is why I didn't return home, Tsaiwei timely reminded. Madame Liu, it would be best to have her examined. A girl who stays out overnight might have already lost her virginity. Upon hearing this, Madame Liu was furious. I must have her examined. If she has lost her virginity, I will sell this wretch to a farm and marry her off to a peasant. Madame Liu ordered several matrons to drag Liu Piaopiao away directly. Save me, old madam, save me, Miss Liu, save me, Marquis. Liu Piaopiao cried out, pleading for help from the Liu family. Lu Yuanze dared not show himself, seeing that Liu Piaopiao was so unwelcome by her legitimate mother. Old Lady Liu and Lu Yinyan immediately abandoned her. Miss Liu, it is only right for your mother to discipline you. You should go back. I have already given my body to Marquis Liu, and he promised to marry me. Liu Piaopiao simply threw caution to the wind and tore away her own dignity. As for this wretched woman, I naturally intend to keep her here and give her a good lesson, I spoke up. The Marquis has not mentioned this matter to me. Why not have Madame Liu examine her in the side room? Soon, the Liu family's maidservant examined Liu Piaopiao and reported to Madame Liu, Liu Piaopiao has already lost her virginity. That wretched woman. Lady Liu immediately ordered the maidservants to beat Liu Piaopiao half to death. This time, neither Mother Liu nor Lu Yinyan stepped forward to defend her. Lu Yuanze rushed over upon hearing the news. Marquis, save me. Liu Piaopiao pleaded tearfully to Lu Yuanze for help. Lu Yuanze was heartbroken and immediately stepped forward to shield Liu Piaopiao, kneeling before Madame Liu. Madame Liu, it is true that Miss Liu has lost her innocence to me, and I am willing to take responsibility for her. It seems this man's knees are quite flexible when it comes to kneeling. I sneered coldly. If that is truly the case, then let the Marquis take her as a concubine. A young lady who has lost her virginity before marriage would only bring disgrace to your family if you take her back. Madame Liu's expression softened a bit. That little wretch has been causing trouble for you, madam. If she doesn't obey your discipline in the future, feel free to beat, scold, or sell her off as you see fit. She then had the servants give Liu Piapiao a harsh beating and scolding before leaving. From today onward, Cai Wei and Liu Piapiao are both the Marquis's concubines. They will move into the side rooms on either side of the west courtyard. No one dared to voice any objections after I said this. That day, both of them served me tea and performed the concubines' ritual. Liu Piapiao was extremely reluctant, while Cai Wei was overjoyed. Lu Yuanze felt a mix of emotions. Only thinking he had let Liu Piapiao down in many ways, he wanted to say something, but seeing my stern and cold expression, he ultimately dared not speak. After finishing my tea, I calmly issued the order. Cai Wei is a dowry maid, so it is more legitimate for her to become a concubine than Liu Piapiao, and she will be ranked above her. From now on, her monthly allowance will be increased by 2 taels of silver. Upon hearing this, Liu Piapiao bit her lip in restrained frustration. I added, I am feeling unwell tonight, so Cai Wei will serve the Marquis. That night, Lu Yuanze spent the first half of the night in Cai Wei's room and the latter half in Liu Piapiao's. Liu Piapiao sobbed tearfully. My lord, Sheng Wanwan deliberately humiliated me by making me a concubine. Piapiao, please bear with it for now. Once I secure the Sheng family's fortune, I will make you my official wife and never let you down. Lu Yuanze affectionately comforted his beloved. That's good. As long as you have me in your heart, I am willing to wait until that day. Liu Piapiao served him with tears in her eyes, which only deepened Lu Yuanze's affection for her. Since becoming a concubine, Cai Wei, relying on me, the mistress, as her backer, often bickers and quarrels with Liu Piapiao. I sit back and watch the tigers fight, munching on melon seeds and enjoying the spectacle. You shameless wench, you slut, you became a concubine without any matchmaker or betrothal. And you scream so loudly at night that no one can sleep. You, a lowly maid, climbed into the Marquis's bed. What face do you have to scold me? I am the dowry maid of the mistress. I became a concubine with her permission. And you, a young lady from an official family, offering yourself to a man in secret. How shameless. You wretched maid. The Marquis dislikes your smelly feet and won't even go to your room. Ha, even if the Marquis likes you, you're still just a concubine. Forever beneath our mistress. Ha, a mistress who isn't favored by the Marquis. What does she even count as? Liu Piapiao still wanted to curse, but seeing the 4 newly bought maidservants surrounding me as I emerged from the side room, their imposing presence forced her to swallow half her words. What's the big deal? Go on, I sneered at her. She didn't dare say another word, turning around in disgrace and fleeing. A few days later, Lu Yuanze came to my room to ask for consummation. Wanwan, are you feeling better now? Dog of a man, you have no right to touch me. If it weren't for taking revenge on his entire family, I would have left long ago. My body has recovered, but my mood hasn't. The Marquis once said he would love only me for a lifetime. Yet I never expected you to have secretly gotten involved with Miss Liu long ago. So Wanwan still resents me in her heart. You don't know, but Liu Piapiao once did me a great kindness. Lu Yuanze suddenly began telling me a story. When I was 15, my family was poor, and I ended up on the streets, nearly starving to death. It was a young lady from an official family who ordered someone to give me a steamed bun and 2 taels of silver, which helped me survive that difficult time. If it were someone else's story, I would probably be moved. But when Lu Yuanze brought up this past event, I inwardly sneered with a cold laugh. Why should my life and family fortune be used to repay the debt of gratitude you owe to others? It was only after my death that I learned the truth about why Lu Yuanze was so deeply in love with Liu Piapiao. Lu Yuanze had always mistakenly believed that the person who helped him back then was Liu Piapiao. In fact, the one who gave him the silver was Liu Piapiao's legitimate elder sister, Liu Qingqing. In the previous life, after Liu Piapiao became the mistress of the Marquis's household, Liu Qingqing came to visit the Liu residence. It was then that Liu's mother inadvertently revealed the past, and Liu Qingqing finally understood why her half-sister Liu Piapiao had been married as a second wife with such grand ceremony by Lu Yuanze. When she left the Marquis's residence, her personal maid was indignant on her behalf. Miss, it was you who gave Lu Yuanchen those 2 taels of silver back then. at the time. The second young lady was riding in the same carriage with you and even mocked that little beggar as lowly. Who would have thought that Liu Piapiao would falsely claim the credit and now become the wife of the Marquis? It's just too much. Sisters are one. But now that we are each married, there's no need to dwell on it. Liu Qingqing said disdainfully. The original wife of Marquis Liu died in childbirth. And he married Liu Piapiao as his official wife less than half a year after losing his wife. He even seized the Sheng family's property. He is malicious and doesn't deserve me. If I had known this earlier, I should have let him starve to death back then. In this life, I plan to let Lu Yuanchen know about this at the right time. After listening to the story, I asked Lu Yuanze, since Liu Piapiao has done you a favor, why didn't you marry her before? Why did you have to wait until I married you? Forcing you to take her as a concubine. Lu Yuanze lied against his conscience. Wanwan, you and I are in love, while my relationship with Liu Piapiao is based on gratitude. On our wedding day, I was drunk and mistook her for you, which led to what happened between us. That was not my intention, I sneered inwardly, thinking he really took me for a fool. In my previous life, I died in childbirth. In this life, I want them all to suffer the same fate. Marquis. Childbirth is a life and death ordeal for women. I am still young and plan to have children in a few years. Let your two concubines have children first, and I will treat them as my own. Lu Yuanze hesitated for a moment before agreeing. After that, Lu Yuanze often took turns sleeping in Caiwei and Liu Piapiao's rooms. Liu Piapiao was afraid of getting pregnant, so Lu Yuanze specially bought her contraceptive medicine from outside, lying to me that it was a tonic for pregnancy. Because I went to the kitchen to eat every day, when the cook was brewing the medicine, I gave her money to replace the herbs with real pregnancy-preserving medicine. This pregnancy-preserving medicine was a prescription I had asked a doctor to prescribe for Caiwei to protect her pregnancy. Each time the cook brewed 2 bowls, one for Caiwei and one for Liu Piapiao. In less than 2 months, both Caiwei and Liu Piapiao were diagnosed as pregnant. Caiwei was delighted. But Liu Piapiao flew into a rage, scolding the cook. Did you secretly replace my medicinal soup? The cook retorted, heaven and earth bear witness. You and Caiwei both drank the fetal stabilizing medicine to secure your pregnancies, and now you blame me for taking too good care of you. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning? Upon hearing the news, I came to support the cook, concubine Liu, as the mistress of the house. I have allowed you to carry a child. If you don't do your part to expand the family for the Marquis, are you deliberately trying to miscarry? If you dare to cause more trouble in the Marquis's household, I will have no choice but to sell you to a brothel. Upon hearing this, Liu Piapiao dared not retort and angrily returned to the side room. Later, she tried to find a way to abort the child, but I bought 2 new maids to keep a close watch on her. Determined to make her experience the pain of childbirth, I also ordered the cook to prepare nourishing food for them every day. The bellies of the 2 concubines grew larger and larger. I don't allow them to move around freely. If they can lie down, I don't let them sit, and I even have the maidservants feed them. The 2 concubines have been raised plump and round, as fat as pigs. Lu Yuanze gradually lost interest in them and wanted to come to me for intimacy. I dismissed him by saying that my depression hadn't yet lifted and that we should wait until the 2 concubines had given birth. The next day, 5 eager maids were promoted to become Lu Yuanchen's concubines. I painted a grand picture for these maids, promising them silver rewards for serving the Marquis well, with the chance to become his concubines. These concubine maids immediately used all their skills to seduce Lu Yuanchen. Lu Yuanchen soon became deeply immersed in their charms. No longer bothering to visit the 2 pregnant women, Liu Piapiao cried her eyes out every day, cursing Lu Yuanze. You heartless man, breaking your vows, you'll surely face divine retribution. Without me having to lift a finger, Lu's mother personally slapped her several times. You wretch, if you dare make another scene, I'll tear your filthy mouth apart. Lu Yinyan also despised her. You venomous woman, if you dare curse my elder brother again, I'll sell you off. The Liu family had long since severed ties with Liu Piapiao because of her self-destructive behavior. Now, her life is in the hands of the Liu family. As lowly as grass, she regrets her past actions. After my argument with Mother Liu, I never paid my respects to her again. In this life, I won't indulge this family. She was seriously ill, and I stood by without lifting a finger, only letting the 2 concubines attend to her. My sister-in-law dislikes learning noble etiquette. So I will no longer send her to the noble ladies' school. The 2 younger brothers-in-law have no interest in studying, and I won't ask anyone to send them to the Imperial College. They are all quite content to be good-for-nothings. Lu Yuanze was busy with military affairs and had no time to manage them. Today, a censor impeached him for favoring concubines over his wife, taking 2 concubines shortly after marrying a new bride, and allowing the concubines to become pregnant first. Thus lacking in virtue, the emperor confiscated his salary for 1 year. The livelihood of the Marquis's household was becoming increasingly strained, to the point where they couldn't even afford new clothes for the new year. Mother Lu couldn't hold back and wanted to scheme to use my dowry to subsidize the household expenses. Specially came to the West Garden to discuss with me. Wanwan, you've been married into our Lu family for some time now. As you can see, both concubines are with child. Could you perhaps contribute some silver to renovate the mansion and purchase new clothes for the household? Otherwise, our entire family will lose face. Moreover, Lu Yuanze also needs silver to navigate the official circles. As his principal wife, you should share his burdens. Old thing. You call me Sheng when you scold me, and Wanwan when you scheme against me. I pretended to be in a difficult position. My father found out that Lu Yuanze took a concubine. So he withheld all the valuable dowry in the bank, saying he would give it to me 3 years later. Wait 3 years. Mother Lu looked disappointed. I nodded. If mother is not satisfied with waiting 3 years, I can request to leave the household. Mother Lu weighed the pros and cons, gritted her teeth, and said, 3 years is not impossible to wait. She sold her own jewelry and the Lu family's properties, barely managing to cover the household expenses. I have my own private funds to use, and I can casually give some to the cook, so I can enjoy good food alone every day. Mother Lu and Lu Yinyan, unaware of the situation, live frugally day by day. Before long, they become worn out and look pale from overwork. Lu Yinin's coming-of-age ceremony is also held in a shabby manner, so much so that even half a year later, no one comes to propose marriage. At the end of the year, 2 aunts went into labor on the same day, to save money. Mother Lu hired an unknown midwife to deliver the babies. They gave birth in the same delivery room, crying out in pain. The midwife scolded, "You're only 3 centimeters dilated, stop howling, save your energy for the delivery." Lu's mother also scolded, "Which woman doesn't feel pain when giving birth? It'll be fine once it's over." Not long after, the midwife came out to report, "Both women in labor are having a difficult delivery, the babies are in the wrong position. And their heads are too big, should we save the mother or the child?" Without hesitation, Lu's mother said, "Save the child, not the mother. We've spent all this money raising them for a year. If they can't give birth to a child for the Lu family, it's all been for nothing." But Lu Yuanze asked me, "Wanwan, should we save the mother or the child?" I said calmly, "I'll listen to my mother-in-law." Upon hearing this, Liu Piapiao started cursing loudly in the delivery room. "Lu Yuanze, you are heartless and ungrateful. I wasted my kindness on you back then. If I hadn't given you those 2 taels of silver, your whole family would have died long ago." Lu Yuanze felt a slight sense of guilt and said to the midwife, "Let's save the mother. Aunt Liu, you still have some affection after all." Liu Piapiao finally breathed a sigh of relief. As soon as the words were spoken, a servant came to report, "Miss Liu has arrived." Liu Piapiao thought her elder sister had come to support her and was overjoyed. "Please invite my sister in quickly." Liu Qingqing was invited to the outside of the delivery room, her tone distant. "I heard my sister is having a difficult labor. Considering our sisterly bond, I came to see you. Sister, save me. The Liu family just tried to keep the child and get rid of the mother." Liu Qingqing scolded. "Who told you to degrade yourself and engage in an illicit affair with Marquis Liu without proper matchmaking or betrothal? Now that you've ended up in this state, you deserve it." After the censors impeached him, the whole world knows that the Liu family failed to discipline their daughter properly, forcing both me and the legitimate daughters of the Liu clan to marry beneath our status. Unable to marry as she wished, she harbored resentment towards Liu Piapiao in her heart. When Lu Yuanze first saw Liu Qingqing, he felt a sense of familiarity. "Miss Liu, Was it you who gave me steamed buns and 2 taels of silver 10 years ago? At that time, you were sitting in the carriage, and I only saw your profile. It was indeed me. I never expected you to be so ungrateful. Not only did you seduce my half-sister, forcing her to become a concubine, but you also tarnished the reputation of my Liu family, making it difficult for the legitimate daughter to marry. The Liu family was stunned. So you are the one who saved our family. Liu Yuanze felt a pang of heartache, never expecting that he had been deceived by Liu Piaopiao for so many years. You two sisters look alike. Back then, Liu Piaopiao came to me herself, claiming that she was the one who saved me. Liu Qingqing sneered. That wretched woman has always been a smooth talker at home. I never thought she would impersonate me to get close to you. Back then, when I wanted to give you silver, she even stopped me, saying there was no need to show kindness to a beggar. Now, what a joke. Do as you please. After Liu Qingqing left, Liu Yuanze was filled with resentment. Liu Piaopiao, you deceived me so cruelly. I could have married the legitimate daughter of the Vice Minister of Revenue, but it was you who impersonated her, causing me to miss this perfect match. He spoke his mind without any regard for my presence. It seems that in his eyes, a merchant's daughter like me is even more lowly than Liu Piaopiao. Liu Piaopiao argued. My feelings for Lord Liu are genuine. It's because I love you that I claim to be the one. Lady Liu also hated Liu Piaopiao for causing her son to lose a good marriage and immediately wanted to get rid of her. She instructed the midwife, for concubine Liu's delivery, save the child, not the mother. The midwife confirmed with Liu Yuanze again, Lord Marquis, for concubine Liu's delivery. Should we save the child or the mother? Liu Yuanze said decisively, let the concubine go in peace. If both mother and child cannot be saved, this wretched woman is not worthy of bearing my child. Liu Piaopiao cursed Liu Yuanze to die early in the delivery room. Not long after, both mother and child were lost. Cai Wei took only one look at the child after it was born before she breathed her last. The midwife brought the child out. Congratulations, Marquis, it's a young master. Liu Yuanze carried the child to me. Wanwan, from now on, this child will be entrusted to you to raise. This child's face was exactly the same as Liu Mingyi's at birth in the previous life. A child born to a maid. What right does he have for me to raise him? I sneered coldly. Liu Yuanze's expression suddenly changed. It was you who allowed the concubine to become pregnant back then. I permitted you to have children, but I never said I would raise them, if they are not my children. What does it have to do with me? It was time to leave and lay the cards on the table. Liu Yuanze suddenly realized. Wanwan, did you do this deliberately to get back at me? I smile. Yes, I'm here to get my revenge. In my past life, you deceived me into marriage, caused my tragic death, and enjoyed wealth and glory. In this life, I will leave you with nothing. You poisonous woman, I will divorce you. Liu Yuanze angrily curses. Liu Yuanze, you have no right to divorce me. It is I who will divorce you. I take out a letter of divorce I had prepared earlier. Liu Yuanyuan took a look, his hands trembling. Liu Yuanyuan deceived in marriage, favored concubines, and neglected his wife. I approve. Seeing the emperor's comment and the imperial seal, Liu Yuanyuan was both horrified and puzzled. Why would the emperor help you? I sneered at him contemptuously. You don't know, do you? The Sheng family has been a royal merchant for 3 generations. How would a military man like you know? In my previous life, Liu Yuanze openly took over the Sheng family's property because I had given birth to 2 children for him, allowing him to gain status through his sons. In this life, I did not bear his children. So the Liu family should not even think of touching a single penny of the Sheng family's assets. With the divorce decree stamped by the imperial seal in hand, Liu Yuanze had no choice but to agree, or he would be courting his own death. The Liu family could only watch helplessly as the imperial guards came to help me move my dowry items from the Liu residence, the gold inlaid jade screen, the dressing table and canopy bed made of golden Nanmu wood, and various boxes edged with gold thread. I went out holding a box, and inadvertently opened one, causing various jewels to scatter all over the ground. 6 night pearls, each as large as goose eggs, stood out prominently. The imperial guards helped me pick them up one by one. While the Liu family could only watch with envy, Madame Liu, overwhelmed with frustration, immediately fainted in regret. Liu Yinyan and her younger brothers knelt on the ground, begging me, sister-in-law, please don't leave. We can't bear to see you go." Lu Yuanze also knelt down. "Wanwan, I was wrong. Can you give me a chance to make it right?" I glanced at them with disdain. "I have already divorced my husband. You have nothing to do with me anymore. Let's part ways and never meet again." Not long after, I heard that the Lu family was so poor they couldn't even afford to put food on the table and had to borrow money from their relatives to maintain their dignity. Someone spread the news outside that when the two concubines of the Lu family gave birth, Lu Yuanze chose to keep the children and abandon the mothers. This frightened the main wife, Sheng Wanwan, so much that she divorced her husband and left that very day. The Lu family's malicious reputation spread far and wide. As a result, no noblewoman was willing to marry Lu Yuanze, and Lu Yinyan also received no marriage proposals. Lu Yuanze, in order to repay his debts, sought to earn military honors and request rewards. He volunteered to lead an expedition against the northern Rome kingdom, aiming to expand the empire's territory for the emperor. Driven by a desperate desire for achievement, he underestimated the enemy and advanced recklessly. Falling into an ambush where he was pierced by countless arrows and died, at the moment of his death, several unfamiliar scenes flashed through his mind, as if from a past life. In that life, he had betrayed Sheng Wanwan, conspired with Liu Piaopiao to cause her death during a difficult second childbirth, seized her dowry, took over the Sheng family's wealth, and lived a harmonious life with Liu Piaopiao, while Sheng Wanwan's spirit hovered resentfully above the Liu family. Watching it all unfold, so, in this life, his fate was deserved. Lu Yuanze suddenly remembered the vow he had made. "I, Lu Yuanze, will love only Sheng Wanwan in this lifetime. After marriage, I will not take concubines, and we will be a devoted couple for life. If I break this vow, may I die pierced by 10,000 arrows." It truly came to pass. After Lu Yuanze's death, the emperor held him accountable for the military defeat and the harm to the nation. Not only was his noble title revoked, but the entire Lu family was also subjected to confiscation of their property. Both of my uneducated younger brothers have become vagrants in the city, and Lu Yinyan was sold by them to a brothel to become a prostitute. 7 years later, Lu's mother was begging on the street with Lu Mingyi, often being despised and cursed by passers-by. "Stinky beggar, get away from here. Grandmother, why are we so lowly?" Lu Mingyi felt unwilling. Yi Shi, who had cried so much that one of her eyes went blind, lamented, "Back then, your father was a marquis, but he was deceived by that wretched Liu Piaopiao. You were supposed to be born from the legitimate daughter of the Sheng family, but instead, you ended up in the womb of a dowry maid. It's all fate." At that moment, several luxurious carriages of noble figures passed by, accompanied by countless attendants, drawing the attention of many onlookers. Someone remarked, "Prince Jing has entered the capital." Lu Mingyi looked up and saw that the curtain of the most magnificent carriage in the middle was lifted by a gust of wind, revealing the breathtakingly beautiful face of a noble lady. She held a lovely little girl in her arms, and beside her stood a handsome prince dressed in a python robe. Lu Mingyi murmured to himself, "If only I could be reborn into her womb." I glanced indifferently at the familiar-looking little beggar. Our eyes met, and he gazed at me greedily, unable to help but call out, "Mother." The carriage had already passed him. The curtain fell, never to meet again in this lifetime.